We out of left field, it's time to get real with all the juicy hot topics that bring appeal. Like who's a Hall of Famer and who's the best team. Number one up on the power ranking, that's a prestige. Man, the outfield is mine, I'm calling left center. My name is Daniac, a name that you should all remember. Yoni, who you bringing on? Who's the guest spot? They better be bringing their A game. Come on, let's talk.
All right, boys, episode 13, and it doesn't get more exciting than this. Playoffs. Today's episode is all about the playoffs. Playoffs. We're going to hear everybody's insights. We're going to have some special segments, but we're here to talk playoffs. Okay, guys?
I like it.
Now, you know the drill. I'm going to but hold on. Let's just let the record be straight. Fogel has lost the last two, the only two in playoffs so far.
Yeah, my mind's back. I'm
Mine's
straight.
back?
Yeah,
I'm straight.
I feel like I'm losing this one, but anyway, let's go.
Paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, fuck. 3 in a row.
3 in a row. Shiv's a playoff performer. That's what it is.
Apparently, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys get it, if you know the answer, just raise your hand, but let me finish the poem because it's probably a 1 or a 2 before the last line, and the last line turns it into a 0. So if you got it, just raise your hand. So I know you got it before that last line, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. If you hit to him when he's accurate, you will be gunned down. But if you're looking for him on the bases, he's probably caught in a rundown. Now back to his accuracy. Now back to his accuracy, it is a bit shoddy, and his defensive play at times can be viewed as gaudy. But he is a good player, and we like him a lot. That's why I called him to be on this podcast spot. Only Logan Frankel thinks he is mean. So who is my mystery guest for episode 13?
You know, I was so convinced that it was him that I
Me
even
too.
texted him saying, you know, is camp over, stuff like that. And he played along well. Well. But
Definitely Mally. Definitely Mally.
Final answer. What gave it
yeah.
away? Wait. What gave it away before?
I mean, I had
line.
it on the first line, but I also thought that it was going to be him. So this time I guessed right. And then obviously when you said about the base running, because this guy's a clown on the bases.
And when you saw
Blair,
before
I
I
had
let him,
12 o'clock text because I kind of figured it was him, but he played it off cool.
mystery guest, reveal yourself.
There we go.
Hey, look at this guy.
Supposed to be in class.
He has no class Fridays. Was this the class? Was this the person that you thought was going to be on for the last 2 weeks when you kept on saying, I have an idea who it is?
No, this week I thought, though, because I saw Portnoy earlier, and he wouldn't tell me who it was, but he said it's a good guest.
Portnoy? Oh, snap. So he's giving you some compliments there, Mally. Portnoy is the only person that knows who the mystery guest is before the mystery guest.
Mitch, I thought I played it off pretty well earlier.
You did. I still had a feeling it was you, but you played it off
Right,
well.
what did I tell you? I told you I played it off pretty well. I gave you the
I'm in class. I got to speak to Yoni.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, Portnoy always gets to read the poems ahead of time, and he lets me know what level they're at. This
like
one,
that.
he said maybe he told me to change the last line from only Logan Frankel thinks he is mean to like a type of person that calls his father by his first name could be seen as mean or something like that.
Okay.
That would have been a dead giveaway, too. But yeah.
That would have been a dead giveaway as well, right?
Yeah.
Mally, welcome.
Thank you.
Long time coming. I know you've been wanting to come on the podcast for a while. How's that going?
Very happy to be here.
Yeah.
Very excited.
What are you going to add to this podcast, Mally?
I don't know. Maybe start some drama in the playoffs. You never know. Maybe
Are you more of like a Plotkin guest or more of like a Bruce guest?
I don't know. I'm hoping I could be my own guest. You know what I mean?
Something in between.
Yeah.
All right.
High expectations over here. I've been waiting for this.
Gotta live up to it.
So there's a lot of games on tap. Well, not a lot of games. Sorry. There was one game this week because it was Canada Day again. But those games were so jam-packed that it really gives you enough entertainment for the week. So we're going to start with I want to start with the Mario and Feast game. It started, but before I start, actually, you know what? We're going to start with the FBI. Sorry, we're going to start with the Bears game. But before I start with the Bears game, I'd like to invite, first of all, before I invite anybody, I want everyone to watch this video over here. This is a video of
Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux talking about pitching to Buckman. Okay, so just watch this video. This is Greg Maddux trying to talk about Buckman and pitching to Buckman.
Well, you know what? Actually, though, he was like the easiest guy in the world to pitch to because if it mattered, you just walked him. I mean, he was a guy. I mean, he was so much better than all the other hitters in the game that you got to pick your fights. You know, you got to get 27 outs. You got to know where they are. You know, they're not going to be with him. So you go pick on the other 8 guys and see if you can't, you know, kind of find them that way.
So that's basically what it is. That's basically what it is, right? So
if it's good for Greg Maddux, it's good for me.
There you go. I'm gonna invite Brad Buckman in now, and we'll hear what he has to say.
What a guest.
We'll hear what he has to say.
This would be a hell of an exec team right here. This 5 is a start.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
Great.
A lot of infielders.
Bradley Buckman.
Moose.
Welcome, Brad Buckman. Now, right before you logged on, Brad, we just showed a video of Greg Maddux talking about pitching to you in a game. And what he said is you're the easiest batter to face.
Yeah, I saw the video.
Because all you have to do is walk him. Yeah. So this is really, Brad is here. We're here to open up Walk Gate. Mm-hmm. Now, those who don't know, which means you're living on another planet or playing in a different league or something, I think Brad Buckman has been walked 9 out of 10 at bats so far. How many is it in the playoffs?
He was pitched to twice.
You have 2 at bats, right? 2 at bats, 1 hit.
There've been at least 3.
I think I have 8 intentional walks.
8 intentional walks. Now that can get really frustrating. I just want to have a little debate from both sides of the coin over here. We have Shiv on one side of the coin, who's the walker, and we have Brad here, who's the walkie. Brad, let me hear your thoughts on it before Shiv can rebut what you have to say.
Well, it's definitely not fun, especially when you're in a close game and you were brought on a team to make a difference, and the other team is like, yeah, don't care. You're not making a difference in the game. Yeah, it's just, there's nothing I can do about it. But
you know, 90% of the time you would say a walk is an advantage. When you walk a player, it's an advantage. The player gets on without having to worry about getting out. But in Buckman's case, walking is not quite an advantage. Shiv, what do you have to say about
it? Look, I love Brad. Everybody knows that. Brad and I played together in 2 other leagues. We're teammates, and you know, I would be feeling his pain in any of those other leagues. The reality is, and I'm not trying to put down the bus, but there's just nobody really on that team that can bat behind him and really protect him when he comes up. So it's, I don't know. I get it. It sucks. You know, I hope that when we play Tuesday, we're up by 17 runs in the first inning and I can pitch to you all game. But in those tight situations, if you pitch to this guy, it's, you know, I think I crunched the numbers. You know, 65% of his at bats, forget his hits, 65% of his at bats are extra base hits.
So what you're saying is you can't win without walking me.
I'm saying that it's more difficult to win without walking you.
So why don't you try to see if you can win playing even?
I mean, I'm giving you a 1,000 on base percentage. I think it's actually very generous.
I don't think that's generous. I didn't receive anything in return.
You got a 1,000 on base percentage. It strengthens your MVP postseason MVP case.
Yeah, I'll update my CV with that.
I gave you 2 free RBIs. I gave you 2 free RBIs also walking you to bases.
2 free RBIs. That's fantastic. I'll put that on there too.
Brad, what do you think that your team can do to help you get at bats?
I think it's a little late in the season for that kind of answer, but they just have to hit to, you know, make the game out of control in our favor, and then I'll start hitting because they don't have a choice.
Yeah, you got to find somebody.
Lead them off.
Who had the best batting average on the team besides Brad, obviously?
Carletti.
Carletti? And what was he hitting?
Number 1.
I don't know.
Like 30 or something?
Because if
Yeah,
Coletti is the guy that's getting on base more often, maybe he's the guy that should be batting behind you like that. You're at least advancing.
I don't disagree with you, Yoni. I was having this conversation today. It's like it doesn't need to necessarily be a power guy, but it has to be a guy where, like, forget advance. It's just like if you load the bases or you walk bad with the bases loaded, like the guy behind hits another single and 2 more runs come in, then maybe you think twice about doing it. But at the moment, I was well rewarded. Look, full transparency, I was not there for game 2. I was the culprit in game 1. Both times I walked Brad with the bases loaded. No other runs came in. There were a lot of infield pop-ups. Can't remember who was batting behind him in that game, but he didn't come through for the bus.
Now, is it true? Yeah. Is it true that last game Brad got up with no one on base, first batter, and you guys were up 6 or 7?
I was there.
And he was
I will
walking?
happily say what happened. I was there. So basically, what was it?
That seems a little off.
It was the bottom of the 10th or something, extra innings, and Shiv's team's up by 6 runs. Hell of a top of the 10th inning in extras, and Bucket off the 10th and walked right away. I remember Cam was, I guess, replacing Shiv. He was like, "Why are we walking him?" Fuchs said, "Let's put him on." Everyone was like, "Put him on." Benzer started yelling, well, specifically Aiden Benzer, and then everyone in the crowd started booing. So, I mean,
we heard the boos across the field, for the record.
Boos were very loud. I partook in the boos as well. I big fan of the boos, but walking him in the 10th inning there in the bottom of the 10th with nobody on up 6 runs is close.
Yeah, I heard you were at Frosh last week. Definitely a big fan of the boos. Sorry, Brad, what were you saying?
No, that's what kind of got to me is you walked me just to walk me. Like there was no situation, there was no reason to. It was just, yeah, let's just put him on just for the hell of it. And
I agree.
And then after the game, they started cheering and like, yeah, we won and screaming. I'm like, you guys didn't play even. So that's when I lost my shit because I just don't appreciate stupid stuff like that.
Shiv, I agree with walking him some of the times, even when it's bases loaded. But when you're up 6 runs, what's his home run going to do? It's going to put you up 5 runs. And then you get to face the rest of the team. So why would you do it? Not, I know it wasn't you. You weren't here. But why would anyone do it in that scenario? And
I'm not gonna criticize the decision making that was made because I wasn't there. That said, I understand what you're saying. For me, leading off the 10th inning, I think it was up by 5, not 6, just to accurately state what was happening. But I agree. A home run or a single is basically the same thing to me. There, it's a meaningless run. I think that's one of those places where I probably gamble on the 20% chance that I get Brad out, and I probably would have pitched to him. That said, I wasn't there, and I'm not going to criticize the decision making because they did win the game. So whatever they did apparently worked. At the end of the day, I know it's a rec league, and I do want Brad to have a good time. But the guys that come out, they do.
What they
do
did, or what
also.
you did?
What I did in game 1 and what happened in game 2.
What you did in game 2.
I wasn't
very good. Very
2.
good pickup with Cam there.
Yeah, that was strategic.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
I planned a work trip for game 2 because I knew we'd be on T3, and I was hoping Cam could hit me a couple bombs, and like the superstar he is, he came through.
Yeah,
that's pretty big.
General manager of the year.
Shiv, I have a question. Who's next in line when you're not there as decision maker? Is it Fuchs?
It's Fuchs was head coach on Tuesday night, but so it's sort of it's a group effort. You got Lior, you got Lozoff, you got Shane, you got a bunch of guys contributing there. But Fuchs was running the show.
Who has the final say? Fuchs has the final say.
When I'm there, or when
you're not
there?
When you're not there.
Yeah, Fuchs, the Fuchs family. I had Sasha, Harv, and Mitch on it.
You know what? Let's talk about Sasha and Harv for a second. Great fans. They don't miss games.
Best.
They come to every game.
Honestly,
Franco's father, also good fan. The Mitch's bitches, great fans. Like if you have a team with fans on it, it just enhances the experience.
Matthew Mann's father is at every game.
Yeah. Man's father.
Greg Cates' father attends a lot.
Yeah.
Sasha's not even a fan though. I consider him a team member. I consider him bear number 13. He's my personal hitting coach.
Your personal hitting coach. Wow. I love it. I love it. So let's talk a bit about the game. Brad, what happened in that game? You guys both played. You and Mally played that game. It was 16-12 was the final score.
Mally didn't play.
Mally played?
Oh, no, sorry. Mally didn't play. My bad. It was 16-12 score, Brad. How did you guys get 12? Like, it sounds like it was a close game.
Yeah, it was a close game. Cam led off with a 2-run home run. So we were down, I think, for a couple innings, and
How
then
do you pull that off?
we kind of went back and forth with the runs. It was good. It was very entertaining. We played hard. Both teams played well. Unfortunately, we just came up short in the end, but we scored enough runs to win. Couple mistakes here and there that I don't think cost us too much, but yeah, it is what it is. It's just we didn't come out on top in that game.
What happened? It was a tie game. You said at a certain point it went to extra innings. What was the difference? What happened in the 10th?
So in the ninth, we came back and we were within 1 run. And I think it was first and second, Selleck came up, and that would have been hilarious because it would have been bases loaded with me up, tie game. They can't really walk me.
Oh, wow.
Don't put it past me, Brad. I might do it. I might walk.
Yeah, you might lose the game.
It was the top? It was the top or the bottom?
Bottom.
Yeah.
So why would you do it?
No,
I do what I like, Yoni. I do what I like.
So and then the 10th, I don't think we were anticipating them scoring that many runs, and they hit the ball well in that last inning, and they scored 5 or 6 or whatever it was, and
clutch performance from the boys.
Yeah,
it's definitely been a closer series than anyone would have thought.
Was there any major
plus 2-0?
I heard there was some sort of major error that allowed the tying run. Is that true? Was there an error of some sort to allow the tying run score, or to allow tying run on base or something like that at the end? No,
not that I know of.
No. Okay, I could be wrong. Shiv, do you know anything about that?
I do not.
No. Okay. Moving on. Let's go to Mally's game. We're gonna go to Ezerzer and Flint.
Yeah.
Flint pulling off the upset, 11-7. Now, is this a case of Ezerzer can't hit Primo? Primo pitched the full game, 9 innings.
No, you would think that we couldn't hit him, but we started a lot of hits like everywhere, just not together. We had the bases loaded at one point with nobody out, and we came up with a sac fly and a ground out run, and we could have scored plenty more runs on in that inning. Did not cash in any RBIs. I mean, we could have hit the ball better. I mean, but that's not us. We play defense, and the Gal pitches the ball really well. But yeah, I mean, he's been pitching well in the series, Primo. Gal's been pitching the ball great, and we had a few costly errors, a lot of singles that turned into home runs, a lot of drop balls, a lot of misread balls. So, I mean, we were all over the place, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so according to the website, I don't know if it counts did you have any subs that game?
Just Elliott for Derek, I think.
Okay, just Elliott. So you guys had 11 hits.
Yeah.
The other team had 9 hits. There were a combined 20 hits in the game. Usually a team gets 20 hits. There wasn't much hitting. Is this pitching or is this just bad field, like bad hitting?
I mean, on our half of the ball, we did not field the ball well at all. Like, there was misread balls, line drives that went through the grass to the outfield that turned into 3-run home runs. Like, nothing was going our way.
There couldn't have been that many errors, seeing as you only had 11 hits, right?
Yeah, but there were very costly errors, like multiple runs per error. So didn't go our way at all.
And so the series is turning out to be an exciting series. Listen, it was 4-3 the first game. It's a 1-run game. And the second game is 11. What was it?
11-7.
Right?
11-7.
Keep in mind they didn't pitch Joel once on in game 2. It was all Primo.
No.
They let him go the whole way. I mean, he pitched the ball well. He throws a pitch, and everyone lunges.
Okay, sorry, guys. I completely made a mistake. I looked at the wrong game. I looked at the 4-3 game when I said that there were only 20 hits. So that's my bad. Actually, your team had 15 hits.
Yeah.
And Flint had 20 hits. Everyone on Flint had a hit except for Fogel. You know who didn't have a hit on their team?
Let me guess.
I don't remember.
Who? Who'd you say?
Is it Darren?
Wasn't Darren? No, Darren had 1 hit. Adam Talk. Adam Talk.
Right.
0 for 4. Only player not to get on base in that game. Zach Wise 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs.
White this series is 5 for 5.
Mitch White is 5 for 5 this series. That's big.
Yeah, I heard Kurt Dubo had a huge home run. Huge clutch home run, Kurt Dubo.
Not only did Kurt Dubo have a home run, let me tell you about Kurt Dubo. Kurt Dubo crushed that home run. And then in his very next at bat, he crushed the ball, literally warning track power against the 285 fence.
You guys should walk him every single at bat next game.
Maybe they should, but he crushed 2 balls. But Maybe that's is there's a strategy coming up, especially
There is a
Walking Dubo.
There is a Brad Beckman on our team apparently too, so I'm sure we'll get to that. Not bad. Just talking about
It's true.
Walkgate.
It's true. There is Walkgate on PSB. It's not to the same level as Brad because I think ours got 3 at bats, but it's pretty bad as well.
Brad's had 2, so it's basically the same thing.
But I guess we make him pay when it counts. So that's so maybe that will change. Who knows? What do you? Okay, so let's now that we did that game, let's move on. Before we go into what we think is going to happen in the playoffs for the next game, is there anything else from that game you want to say, Mally? Anything else happened in that game?
Well, we'll tighten up next game. We'll get a win.
Yeah, they also missed us on a lot. Like Kevin didn't really do anything, and Hassan's like a top 2-3 player, so it's gonna make a difference.
Just a little funny story about that game. So the field was still a little bit wet, I guess, lingering effects from the huge rainstorm, I guess the day before or whatever it was still a little bit wet. And so when the ball came in, Primo had to wipe off the ball every time. He had to dry the ball. But after the second inning, Primo's completely drenched from sweat, right? Not a single spot to wipe the ball. He comes up to me and goes, I don't know where to wipe the ball anymore. His shirt was drenched completely. His pants were drenched. He goes, I only have a spot next to my ankles. That's all he had left to wipe the ball. So I thought that was funny.
Hey, he goes out there and he battles. That's why he works up that sweat. Good for him. He's pitching
There you
well.
go. Listen, nothing wrong with sweating. I'm a sweater too. Mario and JB. Now Mario won the first game, and when I said last podcast that they destroyed. I got a phone call from Steve White, how it wasn't really that they destroyed, just their team didn't put their defensive game together. There was a lot of errors and the game should have been much different, should have been much closer, but they didn't come to play on defense. So they decided to bring it out game 2, and Mario won 12-5. It was 7-1 after the 4 innings before the after the 5 innings before the delay.
He 8-1.
I think it was 8-1. Yeah.
8-1.
Yeah.
So okay, so
I
then it was
the first half of that.
For the last 4-4 for the last 4 innings, right?
Yeah.
It ended off 12-5. Was anyone there for that game? For the second half of that game?
I did the first half, but I wasn't there for the second half.
So tell us first in the first half how it started, and then Mally will continue with how it ended.
Yeah, and not a ton to say. They were playing well. They were getting timely hits and playing good defense and doing their thing where they maneuver guys all over the field and piece it together. And I think they had a couple subs for the first half. They had Shane playing. They had Kevin Auerbach playing. They played well. They were playing well.
Before we say anything, Mitch Fogel has brought to my attention this week that what's his name? Epstein has created history. He's the first person ever to play on both teams in the playoffs.
In the same game. Both teams, same game.
Both teams, same exact game. So he played in the first game that was rained out. He played the first five innings, and then he was on the other team for the last 4 innings. He started out with who? He started out with JB?
Yeah.
JB.
Smart move going over to the winning team, the team that's up 8-1.
That's one way to do it.
Now, Brad, have you ever seen someone play for the same team in the same game? Besides in Hampstead, where you guys play outfield for each other and catching for each other.
Sure.
Where the ump is the catcher.
Where the ump is the catcher and the pitcher is the scorekeeper.
No, definitely
and the pitcher, Ethan is the all-time pitcher for both teams. That literally happened one game.
Oh, that's classic. So tell us about the second half, Mally.
I mean, going into the game, they were down 7, 8 runs, and I mean, they were playing a 4-inning game. So when you're down 8 runs going into a game, you're not really going to be like, all right, we've got this. Like, it's a brand new game. Like, you're down 8 runs. It's reality. Like, your odds aren't that great. So I mean, they went to the game knowing they're likely going to lose. But I mean, Mario still came out in the second game like hot. Like, Jacob Frankel ripped the ball over my head, almost had it, but still ripped it really hard. And they just kept going. First inning, I think they scored 3-4 runs, and that was like what they did. And they still hit the ball well. They fielded the ball well. Steve White was great, and they played well. Like,
Mally, are you there for them next week, or is Bobot returning from the U.S. Open?
I haven't been informed yet, so I mean, as of now, I guess Bobot's back. But until they reach out, I don't know.
Was Bobot really at the U.S. Open?
Yeah.
I learned today that he does that every year. Yeah,
he goes to the U.S. Open, like buddies and stuff.
The first week, I don't know with him.
Yeah, I think so. It's like a buddy trip down to the U.S. Open for the opening week.
amazing.
Yeah.
Anyone play like really well in that game? Anyone do anything crazy? Home runs or no?
Nothing like crazy. No.
Nothing crazy, just the usual. Okay, we're gonna move on to what I think, and I'm sure most people would think is so far the series of round one. The Truckers and PSB played 2 games, both games with the same exact score, 9-7, with both teams grabbing a win. Tell me what's gonna happen. Fogel, tell us a little bit about the game first of all, and then we'll start getting into what's gonna happen after.
The game we came out firing. We scored 5 in the first, and then I think they scored 1 in the first, and we kept our lead for a while. And I kept telling the guys we got to hammer this down because I think it was maybe the 4th inning. It was maybe 6-1 or something like that. I said we just gotta hammer this down, and we didn't. And then they tied it up at some point in the 5th inning. 5th or 6th, 4th, 5th inning, something like that, and they could have even had more that inning, which was, we were a little bit down, but we've been in that situation a lot all year, and we fought as we've shown, and I spoke to Mason after the game, and he told me once he tied it up, he thought they had us. So, but then we had the bases loaded. You only got the big hit where we had the 2-run lead in the 8th, I believe. And then we held it down. It was a bit scary. In the 9th inning, they had bases loaded, 2 outs. It was Jacob. It was Jesse Franco up.
Jesse Franco.
Too many of the same names. It was Jesse Franco up, and if he gets a hit there, I think the series is over because they're scoring 2, and then Cam's up, and they're winning the game. It just would have been very demoralizing. So it was a huge out, and that was sort of that's how I saw the game.
Now tell Brad.
Yoni,
yeah.
I heard there was a controversial call in that game. Can we hear about it?
There was a controversial call. We're going to talk about that controversial call. Yes, it is controversial, but I do feel that the result was the proper result once that call is made. This is what happened. Kurt Dubo is umping. He's umping in between the pitcher and second base. That means there's a man on first and second, or at least on first. Mitch White is umping at the plate. Ball is popped up first baseline. It lands very close to the line, could have nicked the line, could have missed the line, and Mitch White points, but you don't say anything. When the ball is fair, you don't say anything, you just point to the field. But when the ball is foul, you scream foul. So Mitch pointed, but at the same time, Kurt screamed out foul ball. Now, should an umpire be calling foul ball from behind second base? Probably not, because you don't have the same angle that the home plate umpire does as he is standing directly on that line. But once the foul ball is called, in my opinion, Shiv, you'll tell us the real whatever happened. In my opinion, like they started running around the bases, but we heard foul ball. We stopped running to the ball. Like they could run as much as they want. We heard foul ball. We stopped moving as a team. Like we listened to the umpire and we stopped moving. What should be happening there?
I actually don't know what the protocol there would be, to be honest with you. I get what you're saying, though. If one ump screams foul, then the team might stop trying to make a play on the ball. So I really don't know how you treat that. But I will look into that for sure.
Brad, what do you think? You play baseball. Brad's played baseball for a long time. We've seen your statistics and your scorecards. Don't think we don't Google you, Brad. We've seen it all. Now tell us.
It wasn't an infield fly rule.
It was out of the infield. It was definitely in the outfield, but it wasn't too far into the outfield.
Oh, okay. It's definitely not the person, the umpire that is in the field call.
That's for sure.
It's definitely the one either on the foul line behind first or the one behind the plate. But if an umpire makes a call, then that has to be followed.
Right.
Whichever, it doesn't even matter if he's playing all the way on, third base side. If he makes the call, then that stops the game. So if it's a wrong call and they reverse the decision, then it's a no pitch and they go back to the previous count and he's up again.
Yeah. It seems like the rule is that if the ball is considered dead whenever an umpire inadvertently announces foul on a ball that touches the ground, whether fair or foul, this cannot be changed.
Okay, exactly.
Once it was said, it was treated correctly. Now, whether the ball was actually foul or not is a completely different conversation. But once it was called, then it appears that they treated it correctly thereafter.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the right call.
And if it's overturned and they say it is a fair ball, then it would just be a single for him. It wouldn't be a double, and the runners would only be able to go one base.
Right. It would be like a one base thing. The only exception to this rule is if the ball is hit over the fence and you call foul, it can be overturned and turned into a home run because it's not the ball's not in play.
Yeah, exactly. Brad, I just want to make you feel a little bit better because Walkgate does not apply just to Brad Buckman, although it's worse for Brad Buckman. I get that, but we have Bram Goldstein on our team, who also gets walked 3 out of 4 at bats, I would say. Game 1, he was 0 for 1 with 3 walks. Game 2, I think he was 2 for 2 with 2 walks. Is that what it is? But all the walks were intentional. There was no accidental walk. So don't feel so bad. You're not the only one in that boat, but it sucks, and I definitely feel for you. I think they should have pitched to you on your last at bat, definitely with no one on base. But before you respond to that, I'm just going to bring somebody in actually to the call so he could be here. I want him to hear this little rebut. So we're just going to invite him in. Give me a second.
Who's this? Surprise guest.
While we're waiting,
Mitch.
There's only 6 of them to choose
Oh,
from.
Fuchs. Has to be Fuchs.
oh,
Mitch Fuchs. I have
The
a question for
walker.
you, Mitch. First of all, unmute yourself.
I like how he's like walking through a kitchen.
What a
Like,
group
this
of
guy's
people we
just-
got today. What's up, boys?
Yeah.
Mitch, my
Fuck
question,
you, see.
this is a question I have for you. Before I tell you the real reason why I brought Mitch on, I have a real reason why I brought Mitch on, but before I'd like to ask you this question, okay? And don't take it the wrong way, don't take it hard or anything. The last inning, Brad Buckman gets up, no outs, up 6 or 5 or 6. Him hitting a home run would make you guys up 4 or 5 in the 9th inning. Why are we walking him?
Why are we walking him? Why give them momentum? Straight up, point final. If he hits a home run against us and then we're down 4 runs, let's say, it's hypothetically, it gives them momentum, chance to get back into the game. Just flow. They don't need that in the bottom of the 11th. We want to win that game no matter what. It's playoff time, baby.
But
We don't come for losses at playoff time. We don't come for home runs at playoff time. You know me.
But people don't come
Put
to
him
get
on.
walked at playoff
Let him
time
take
also.
his
So.
base.
Okay.
Did I cut out?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe you should go to a better service area. Anyway.
You hear me? I'm here. Did you hear me?
Brad,
Yeah,
do
I
you
hear
have
you.
anything to say
Yeah.
on it, Brad?
Nothing to say. It's their decision. I mean, I can't change their decision, and it is what it is.
Like you guys, the whole game are not afraid of anyone that's coming up behind Brad. You're willing to walk him with bases loaded. You're not afraid of anybody. All of a sudden, in the 10th inning, up 5, you're afraid of the people that are batting behind him.
I don't think that's what he's saying, but I don't think that's at all what he's saying. I think he's saying that, and I get what he means, right? You get a home run. Look, we had just blown a 3-run lead in the bottom of the 9th. Brad, let's say, leads off with a home run. Now the lead is 4, and energy gets up. Maybe there's something to be said. Coach Fuchs, he did what he did, and he came away with the W. I can't fault the man.
Listen, like I said, this is not a hit on anybody. I'm just here to get the
No
story.
hate. We're here to play ball. There's no hate.
No, I get it.
You might be setting a precedent for next year because let's say Bram and I don't come back to the exec league, then your new number ones or whoever's in that top tier, all of a sudden Malinoff gets walked 4 out of 5 times because they realize, well, hey, we won
4 to 5 times. Let's be
I don't
honest.
think
Nobody's
Mally's
walking
Malinoff's never getting
Mally.
walked once in a game.
No,
I
but
don't-
I'm
I don't
saying,
you
do
know what? It
you're
might
gonna
be a good
realize that
strategy.
if it works for you this year, you're going to do it again next year, and then the year after that, and then all of a sudden you're going to piss people off to the point where you're just going to eliminate talent out of the whole league.
I don't think that's in question at all.
So
I honest to God, Brad, you're the best hitter in the league. You hit home runs on a daily basis. Why give? In my opinion, I don't want to give you guys a chance to fuel some fire on your bench with whoever it is coming up. That's it. That's all it was.
Is an extra base runner not more valuable to them than a solo?
Exactly.
No, but if anything for them, they have an extra base runner. Carletti ended up getting a hit. They had runners on first and second, nobody out. Then they were building momentum. A solo shot, there's nobody on base, and you're up by 4, and you go out
That's
of
a
here.
valid point also. It's a valid point.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't agree with Mally on that one. I also think it's actually a really good idea. Just walk Mally every time he comes up and let him run himself out on the bases. That might
That's
be a
guaranteed
strategy.
to happen. That's guaranteed to happen.
Clint, you're welcome.
Brains.
Yeah.
I just want to say the real reason why I invited Mitch onto the show. Last week when I was giving the thank yous for the All-Star game, I left out a big thank you, so I wanted to make up to him.
The chef.
Not only was Mitch on the barbecue the whole day in the sweltering heat. If it wasn't for him, the food wouldn't have been made, but also Harvey and your brother Sasha.
Yeah, and
they
my
were there.
stepbrother Gab helped out too somehow. I
Yeah,
don't know
they
why,
were there
but he
helping
did.
out, and
Yeah.
I messed up by missing them on the thank yous last week. So I wanted to personally bring you out here to say thank you for your time, because we really appreciated. We couldn't have fed all those mouths and hot dog eating contesters without your work. So thank you, and thank your dad and your brother for us, please.
Will do. It's a heartfelt message. Thank you, Yoni. I appreciate it.
Good
I
work,
also wanted
Fuchsy.
to just say that maybe next year I'm coming for Joel's crown. I won't be on the grill, or if I am participating in the game, I won't happen. But I'm not going to be on the grill. I'm going to have time to fill my belly, not sweat, not get dehydrated. I'm going to take that crown from him.
All right, listen, it's not going to be easy. Joel wasn't done yet. He only stopped because everyone else was done.
I tried. I tried to put down a hot dog. I was sweating profusely, and I couldn't even eat. I felt like I was going to.
I'm actually, you know what? I also missed to putting on the video of the beginning of the hot dog eating contest last week. So I'm going to put it right here. Everyone just watch for a second. This is the video of the beginning of the hot dog eating contest. We'll just put that out there for fun.
Gotta see this live. Hot dog eating contest underway. Joel's just like not even. He's so confident that he's going to start when you guys are on your fourth.
Rookies are going to eat fast. Me and Joel, the veterans, we take our time.
Take your time. There you go. Zach has a lot on the line here.
There you go. There you have it. Hot dog eating contest. We have a few more minutes left. We have 3 more minutes. I just want to go over what you guys think is going to happen next week. There's 1 game next week, I believe, right?
2 games.
There's 2 games next week?
Yeah, 2 games.
Oh wow, that's new, because we've had 1 game the last few weeks, so it's
Missed because of Canada Day yesterday.
yeah, I know. I took my kids. Did anyone else go? It was a nice drone show. It was cute. Let's start. I'm gonna give you the game, and you're gonna tell me what you think is gonna happen. We're gonna do this as quickly as possible. We have Flint, Ezerzer. Ezerzer is the home team, and they're playing on T3. We'll
You're
start
asking
with
me?
Fogel. What's your prediction? What do you think?
I think it's Zerzer. I heard a rumor that there may be a key guy missing in Flint. I'm gonna go with Zerzer. Gonna take this one.
Fuchsy, what do you think?
I'm going Ezerzer on this one as well. They're a strong team, and I don't think Flint's got it this year.
They're doing well against Ezerzer. Brad, what about you?
I think the same. I think same team. Yeah, they look pretty good.
All right, Mally. I'm not gonna ask you.
Eric's back. We're winning. Let's go.
Shiv, you're also taking Ezerzer? There's no confidence here in the tropics?
I don't know about no confidence. I think they're keeping it close, but I'm gonna take
Flint just because it's a different Brad. It's a different Brad in the playoffs. He comes out, he literally writes the script for every single play. Like, you throw it to second, you throw it to me, I'll throw it, like he literally every single time the ball moves, he's gonna scream it out loud where it's going. He brings the energy. So I am gonna say that Flint Tropic is taking that. That's just my pick. Mario JB, we'll start with Brad.
I don't know. To me, that's toss up.
It's a back and forth series. If you had to choose one, you see something happening. We have JB is home, and they're playing on T2. That's a big.
John Gal pitching for Mario.
John Gal pitching for Mario.
I'll take Mario then.
Mario?
Yeah.
Quick, we got to do this quick. Mally?
Back my pitcher, Jean Gal.
John Gal. Okay, so Mario. So Shiv?
JB on the comeback. Oh, sorry.
Fogel?
Yeah, JB.
And you got JB also?
Yeah.
So you see JB being up 2-1. Okay, we got FDI Bagel. We're going to start with Fogel.
FDI.
Mitch?
Yeah, just give me 1 second right here.
All right.
And,
Brad?
Yeah, baby.
I'm going with our team.
The broom.
He brought out the broom. I don't believe he brought out the broom. Brad,
do
you see a victory here?
Bringing out the broom.
I agree. I think Bus is taking the next game.